So the doctor told us how MOHBAD was brought to the hospital. He said he was on the first floor. Oh my God. That he said he was on the first floor and they called him. He came for an emergency. He tried to do CPR. While he was trying to do it, he checked his pulse, he checked his breathing, you know, the normal thing a doctor would do. And he tried to do everything. As he was doing everything, he was asking questions that they told him, he just collapsed a few moments ago. But he now said there are 4 stages of death. He called it PARL. I might not pronounce it well, but I remember he said maybe paramotives, agomotive, rigomotives, and livomotives, the 1st stage. He now said he had already seen the 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd stage because he tried to put oxygen. When he tried to put oxygen, he now saw he was on the 3rd stage of death, which is rigomotives. So that was when he now told them, look, this guy that you brought here, he has been dead for at least 3 to 4 hours. So it was then that they now said this happened. They now told him that I think they've taken him to one hospital because they didn't believe what happened, and that was why they took him to. So he now told them he's dead, he could not be revived again. So they now ask, someone asked, I can't remember who asked. Okay, one of the lawyers now asked, did you give them what's it called, what death certificates? He now said no, he would not give a death certificate of a patient that he doesn't have history of, that he doesn't know anything about MOHBAD. MOHBAD was just brought to the hospital. He has never seen it before. He cannot ascertain the primary cause of death. So what they do is, in a situation like that, is to just give a note. There is a note, and they usually give that note in the evening. Maybe if people are taking a corpse away, maybe because he said normally they are supposed to take that corpse to general hospital. So it's general hospital that will now check and do all sorts of things and give them the death certificate. That normally it would be unwise of him and unprofessional of him to give a death certificate. So the man was not talking straight, but at least we could ascertain that no death certificate was given that day, that they can only give a note in case they want to transport the body, but normally they were supposed to transport the body to a general hospital. So they now ask him, so you know, a lot of them, because in that Coroner court is only Baba MOHBAD supporters that are there, just a few of, you know. So all of them, some people were saying, because they don't know me, some people came and asked me, are you on TikTok? I said, I'm not on TikTok, yo. So they were asking questions, you know. Everybody, most of them were saying, no, there was no nurse, there was no nurse. They were still saying there was. And you know, by the time our lawyer came out to talk, our lawyer now, you know, now try to ascertain the fact that the injection given to MOHBAD was, is it ultravenous? So the man now said is the high level of being a quack, that you cannot give those injections. That the man said, the doctor said he has never. I wanted to ask question, you know, the judge limited it to 4 people, but fortunately it didn't get to my turn. So when the doctor went out, I still went to meet him, but he had already answered it in the court too, that he has never seen a situation where you have to pass tetanus injection through the veins, that it is all shades of wrong, so that could cause an heart attack. Then they asked him what could be, you know, what could be possible cause of death, you know, in MOHBAD case. He now said he saw the wound. Because me, I really wanted to ask him, did you see a neck broken? But they didn't give us the opportunity to ask that question, and I don't think anybody asked. But he said the only wound he saw was that cut, and it was a small cut. That he said, if that cut could not lead to death, but what could have led to his death is maybe the medication that have been wrongly administered, which could lead to anaphylactic shock. That anaphylactic shock, he said, okay, he asked them, he said by the time he was testing MOHBAD, that he wanted to test the temperature, that he could not get the real temperature because the whole body was wet, that because they said they poured water on him. So Sanshitu was trying to establish the fact that the water that they poured on him could cause death. He twist the whole question, twist. So the man said yes, the water can affect, maybe when they are pouring, the man said he will not pour water on any patient, because while pouring water, the water can go through the nose and, you know, can go to a wrong place, you know. He was shot, he wanted to establish the water. So, but when our lawyer stood up, our lawyer now said, you are an African man, that traditionally people put water. So the doctor said, putting water is not a big deal because a lot of people, that's what we do in Nigeria. But what is just going to advise, you know, a lot of them, by the time they finish, they will say, what do you advise the court? You now say, please, people should stop using quack nurses, that they should stop, that there is nothing like auxiliary nurse. Even the what's it called, the pathologist said that he doesn't even want to hear about that name, that there is nothing like auxiliary nurse, that the doctor even said, even a registered nurse, even well-trained nurse, that they don't administer drugs, that they have their own job, that is the doctor, is the work of the doctor to check the history of the patient and everything. So they now said, so what is now said is, people are supposed to come to the hospital, that he knows that people are looking for cheap, you know, cheap labor, so that's why they use all this stuff. Because normally before you treat a patient, you are supposed to ask for the medical history, and with all what he gathered that no, the nurse did not ask for any medical history and everything. And he now said the whole thing, what's it called, the CCTV camera or something captured everything, the time MOHBAD was brought to the hospital and everything. Then somebody now stood up to ask if Wunmi was there. He said later that he saw Wunmi, that they even brought MOHBAD's baby to the scene, and later he saw the nurse, and the nurse, when he saw the nurse, I think the nurse was in a very confused state. So that was it about the whole thing. Mommy, like they were trying.
Before you go to the next, so the doctor we were talking,
it was Mr. Feyikemi. So I didn't bother to ask that question because Mr. Feyikemi wanted to establish, I wanted to ascertain the rigomotive time, you know. So the man now said he could not ascertain the hours, but based on the situation he saw, that it was not less than 3 hours. He now said it could be 12 hours. It could, because that it depends on, you know, each patient. Because that was what I wanted to ask. That the dead body that you saw, was it a dead body? Okay, Mr. Feyikemi asked him if it's possible to
please, can you stop mentioning that name, please? Just go on.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so the man now said, the now asked that can you what's it called? Can you do a CPR? Is it CPR on a dead body of 24 hours? The man said no. So he now further asked a question. That, so he wants to know the hours that, according to the body of MOHBAD that you saw, what was the stage of the rigomotive? He now said the only thing he could ascertain was that the dead body that they brought to him was not less than 3 hours. So I think that is all. I don't know if you ask any question. Maybe
I have a question.
Like an answering machine. He even felt it was an answering machine that reports yourself to the police station. He
What
said
date
somebody
did he
called
mention?
him.
Did he mention the date?
He said on Tuesday. He said on Tuesday.
Did he mention the time?
The guy was confusing himself. He said around 12. That was what he said. He said around 12. He said around 12. He said around 12. So somebody now asked him, was it 12 midnight? Somebody now says, is it 12 a.m. or 12 p.m.? So, you know, and already noon already too is p.m. So he now said p.m. So that was it.
Okay, then, sorry, did he also mention that he got the news of MOHBAD? What time did he say he got the news that MOHBAD had died?
He said the guy said 12. You know, he was saying 12, but to me, I felt he was saying like 12 midnight, towards in the evening. So that's what he said. He said somebody said go and check on the internet. So I think it was in the night.
Okay, thank you.
It was in the night. He said someone said go on to the internet, that the news is all over the internet that MOHBAD is dead. That was after he received a call.
Okay, did he make mention of any fights that has to do with they fighting concerning Liam's paternity? Did he mention anything?
No.
I think
no, you can ask me question. You can ask me. No, he said nothing like that. That they said he stopped in the middle of Third Mainland Bridge.
Arguments, but it was just a small
one. Yes, it was just a small one. Arguments that they were speaking in Yoruba. And he said he never stopped in the middle of the road. Nothing like that.
Okay. Liberation, you wanted to ask a question. You can continue.
Oh, no. I was just wanted to emphasize.
No, you can ask, because, you know, by the time you ask question, I'll be able to remember some things.
It was about the doctor, because, you know, people, they would think that he's the first doctor. That was what I said.
Okay.
No, it's the second. I think it's the second, the Perez.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I think it's Perez.
Another
is the
question
second.
is this: did the doctor meet Jose at any point in time?
No. He didn't say that. They didn't ask him any question, and he didn't say that. He said he later saw some people in the camera, you know, when the camera was played, that he said what prompted them to make a press release was when someone said he met MOHBAD at the hospital, that he even took a selfie with MOHBAD, you know, stuff like that. So that was what prompted them to have a press release or something.
Did anybody
ask
any questions if his neck was bent or broken, or his leg?
We wanted to ask. Well, the judge did not give. That was part of the question I wanted to ask him, but the judge said it was only 4 people. But the doctor said, and that caused that to him. They now said, okay, what according to him, what did he feel that would be the cause of his death? He now said with that wound that he saw, that it was a small cut, that he felt if they told him that MOHBAD bled, that maybe he was anemic at the time the medication was administered to him. That is 1. He said 2, because he said if he was short of blood, that any dose, that normal dose would be too much for him. That, like, for instance now, that maybe if he's supposed to be given 100 grams for adults and he's short of blood, that 100 grams will be more, that could lead to like heart attack or something. He now said again that the way the medication is being administered, that is through the veins, that it is very unprofessional, that he has, even in all his years of practice, he has never had anyone giving tetanus injection through the vein, that can kill, and the antibiotics. So he said that if the medication is given wrongly, that could lead to an anaphylactic shock. And he asked them, what did the nurse do? Immediately He said, because he said when a medication, he said when a patient is reacting to a medication, that is when you have goosebump. That the goosebump is a result of reacting to that medication. Either the person is allergic to that medication, or the medication is being given wrongly. So he now said, immediately, if that CPR or the person is not attended to immediately, that is not even up to 5 minutes, of course the person is going to lose their life. That he asked them, what did the nurse do? Immediately he started having goosebumps, that MOHBAD started vomiting. The doctor said they told him the nurse ran out. So already it was a dead, was a dead zone. She should have done something else, rather than running out and then pouring water on MOHBAD.
Okay, sorry. Did he mention the clothing of MOHBAD? What he was clothed with?
No, he didn't say. He didn't talk about his clothing
Because he said he was wet.
Asked.
Was he wet, like wet, just naked, or his hair?